thing I wanted to talk about in regards to muzzles is the importance of breaking the steps down even before you start with the muzzle. So the ironic thing is that dogs who need a muzzle sometimes are very, very shy about being touched, and that's why they don't want a muzzle on them. And so often the first order of business is getting them comfortable with being touched around their snout, because if you think about it, when you move ahead in the muzzle training plan, you're gonna have to be working around that area. And if you don't start at the beginning and you don't start getting that dog comfortable with having their snout area touched, you're not going to get very far, and chances are your dog is still going to be uncomfortable. So just wanted to show a couple of techniques. I'm just getting some treats ready. I'm going to put them behind my back. So one of the techniques is luring Omi's head underneath my hand to get her used to having my hand touching her head. Again, I've already worked with Omi. We have a good trust built up, but we haven't worked a lot on face handling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand up like this, and I'm going to take a treat and just give her practice luring her head underneath my hand. The top hand isn't moving at all, and it's Omi's choice whether she wants to be lured underneath it and have this hand touching her. She has plenty of room behind her. She's not cornered, so she's in control. So she's initiating the contact, which is very important for lots of fearful dogs.
Yes, that's good. You want to do it again? Okay.
And throughout the process, she's getting fed. I'm talking, doing happy talk. Yes, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. And as long as my hand is there, I'm going to be feeding her. I want her to have really positive associations with my hand. So as you can see, I'm just kind of moving it around very gently, feeding her. I'm watching her body language. She's in a very relaxed down right now. She's eating treats. Her body language is very much enjoying this. It is a sign that she's enjoying this process. And so again, maybe this time, I just touch her a little bit on the sides, just like that. And go down. I like to do this when the dog is in a down position, just because it also facilitates her being calm, which is something we also want to associate with the muzzle. It's a very good girl. So one thing that I don't want to do when I'm working on this is I don't want to reach forward and touch her snout, because she may be okay with it, but chances are it's going to be more uncomfortable. We've worked a lot on getting her so she's not hand shy with doing shakes and touches and things like that. But at the same time, I want her to feel comfortable. I want her to feel like she's in control and isn't being forced into anything. So what I'll do is I'll do the same thing, but then I can take my hand and I can migrate down a little bit, just a little bit. So the top of her head, we're working on that, and then I'm just migrating down, maybe touching her snout a little bit. Again, she's getting constant feeding in this process, and then giving her a little break, and then once my hand goes away, the treats stop. We'll do that again. So she's getting comfortable with my hands being in and around her snout area, because if you think about it, in the muzzle training plan, you're going to be working the straps, you're going to be luring her through the muzzle, you're going to be doing lots of things around her head. So we really want her comfortable with that. And get my treats ready. And put out my hand and do the same thing, luring her through. Good girl. Can talk her through the process. Yeah. Maybe I migrate a little to her snout, the sides of her head, really gentle pets. Yes, good girl. Getting fed the entire time. Good girl. That's excellent. And then giving her a little break. So I would recommend doing this with your dog, even if you're thinking that they'll be okay with the muzzle process. It doesn't hurt to get some extra padding in. Again, first work again on, luring through, so getting the dog comfortable with initiating the contact around their face, and then migrating down little by little while you're feeding, so that they get comfortable with you touching their snout. I like this, again, much better than reaching for the dog and immediately starting out that way, because especially for shy dogs like Omi, it's scary. And I want her to be as calm and relaxed as possible.
Good girl, Omi.